Okay, so you sent me over a bunch of stuff. I've been looking through it all, and it's really interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot in here.
Yeah.
But one thing that kind of jumped out at me that I thought was super interesting was the the idea that iPhones might get like way more expensive.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, that's definitely a big takeaway from all this stuff you sent
Yeah,
me.
it's like just how much more expensive.
Right.
Like not just a little bit more. We're talking like maybe a lot more expensive.
Yeah. And the main thing that's driving that is this whole tariff situation. They're talking about putting this 54% tariff on electronics coming from China.
Right.
And, pretty much every iPhone is made in China.
Right. Yeah, it's like almost all of them, right?
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's a huge deal. If they actually go through with this tariff, we could be looking at, I mean, just to give you an idea,
Yeah.
the iPhone 16, which starts at like $799 now,
Right.
could go up to like 1142.
Wow.
And the Pro Max, the really big one,
Oh yeah.
that one could be like almost $2,300.
I mean, that's like
It's crazy.
yeah, that's like a used car.
I know, right? I mean, it's like buying a decent used car.
It is. I mean, you could get a pretty decent used car for that.
Totally.
Wow. Okay, so we definitely need to dig into this a little bit because I think there's a lot to unpack here.
Yeah, absolutely.
So in this deep dive, we want to look at what these potential tariffs could mean for the price of your next phone, obviously,
Yeah.
but also like what it means for the tech world in general, like bigger picture stuff, all based on what you sent me.
Right. Yeah. And one thing that I think is really interesting is, while Apple is dealing with this potential price hike, Samsung, their main competitor,
Right.
they're actually in a pretty good position because most of their phones are made in South Korea.
Right.
And the tariff on electronics from South Korea is only like 25%.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, they're not facing nearly as big of a price increase.
So they're kind of sitting pretty.
They are, yeah. I mean, you can just imagine them like in their marketing meetings right now being like, all right, this is our chance,
Yeah.
let's really push this.
Yeah. I actually saw something in one of the articles you sent, like
Yeah.
somebody was joking about a new Samsung slogan, like upgrade to Galaxy where your phone doesn't cost more than your rent or something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
I mean, obviously they're not going to actually use that, but
Probably not.
it's funny because it really shows how this could change the whole market.
Totally. Yeah, I mean, it could be a huge advantage for Samsung.
Uh-huh.
If Apple is forced to raise their prices, people might start looking at Samsung phones more seriously.
Right, right. And this isn't the first time we've seen something like this, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I remember reading about tariffs a few years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, during the previous administration, they put tariffs on a bunch of stuff from China, to try to get companies to move their manufacturing back to the U.S.
Right, right. And what's interesting is that Apple actually got exemptions from those tariffs back then.
They did, yeah. They were kind of like the golden child,
Wow.
But this time around, it doesn't look like they're going to be so lucky.
Yeah, there was one analyst, I think he was from Rosenblatt Securities. He said that Apple's gone from being the golden child to just another company footing the bill, which is kind of funny.
It is, yeah. I mean, it definitely seems like the political climate has changed, and they're not getting any special treatment this time. So it'll be interesting to see how they handle it.
Yeah, definitely. And all this is happening right when Apple's making this big push into AI, with Apple Intelligence and all that stuff.
Oh, yeah, I know, right? I mean, it's kind of ironic in a way. They're coming out with all these cool new AI features,
Right.
but then the phones themselves might become so expensive that people can't even afford them.
Right. It's like you invent this amazing new fuel, but the cars that use it cost $1 million.
Exactly.
So nobody can actually use it.
Yeah, and sales have been kind of sluggish lately too, for iPhones. So
Oh, really?
yeah, so this definitely isn't going to help.
No. No, I mean, if they raise the prices even more, it's just going to make it even harder for them to sell phones.
Exactly.
So what are they going to do? I mean, I've heard some people say that they might try to absorb some of the cost of the tariffs themselves.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a possibility. Some analysts think that they might try to keep the price increases relatively small, at least for the next iPhone, the iPhone 17,
Okay.
maybe like 5 or 10% more expensive.
Okay, so not a huge jump.
Right, but the problem is that they're also facing tariffs on imports from Vietnam and India.
Oh, right, right, because they're trying to make more phones in those countries.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's not like they can just shift all their production to South Korea or something,
Right, right. So even if they do absorb some of the cost in the short term, it's not really a long-term solution.
Nope, not at all.
And, I mean, we're talking about a lot of money here, right? I mean, like, how much could these tariffs actually cost Apple?
Well, one analyst estimated that it could be as much as $40 billion.
$40 billion.
Yeah, it's a crazy amount of money.
I mean, what can you even do with $40 billion? That's like buying every person in America 2 Big Macs.
I know, right? It's hard to even comprehend that much money.
It is. It is. Okay, so what happens next? I mean, there's got to be some kind of negotiations going on, right?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, Apple's not just going to sit back and take this.
Yeah.
They're definitely going to be talking to the government and trying to work something out.
Right. And what about China? I mean, are they involved in this at all?
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's up to China to decide whether to impose these tariffs or not.
Right. Right. So it's kind of a three-way thing. Yeah, Apple, the U.S., and China.
Exactly.
And what about us, the people who actually buy these phones?
Right.
I mean, what are some of the possible scenarios here?
Well, I mean, as we've talked about, one possibility is that people might just switch to Samsung.
If Samsung phones are significantly cheaper, it's going to be hard to resist.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Another possibility is that people just hold on to their old phones longer. If
Yeah.
new iPhones are too expensive, people might just decide to wait a few years before upgrading.
Yeah, or maybe buy a used one or something.
Yeah, exactly. Or maybe the demand for older iPhone models will go up.
Hey.
Like people will start buying like refurbished iPhone 12s or something.
Yeah, because they're cheaper.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways this could play out.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
really hard to say for sure what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a really complex situation.
It is.
But, I mean, the main takeaway here is that iPhones could get a lot more expensive.
Yeah, that's definitely the biggest thing to watch.
And Samsung might actually benefit from all this.
They could, yeah. I mean, it's definitely an opportunity for them.
So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
It makes you think about, how much we rely on technology and how much it costs. Yeah, and whether it's all worth it,
Right, right. I mean, if these new phones are going to be so expensive, are they really that much better than the phones we have now?
That's a good question. Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, we'll see. But in the meantime, we might all be using AI to generate those crying emojis when we see our bank statements.
Oh, I know, right?
Thanks for coming on the show. It's been really interesting talking to you.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
And thanks to all of you for sending in your questions and sources. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, keep them coming.
And we'll see you next time for another deep dive.
See ya.
Bye.